Hey guys, this is John with the Liberty Preserve. I just heard Vladimir Putin has pulled troops back from the border of Ukraine, which kind of makes me think that this thing was just a big scam on how they could divide up Ukraine and basically steal their resources with the IMF lending them money, putting them into debt, raising their fuel prices, stealing their pension funds, that sort of thing. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense that people from, Western nations like the U.S. and England, they don't have a freaking clue as to what really goes on in these types of scenarios, and that really don't have a clue that most of these events are staged. There's a lot of reports. George Soros, billionaire, who was a Nazi collaborator back during World War II, his organizations, his foundations or whatever, funded, a lot of the Maidan rebels, whatever. And Obama comes out and says that it's a duly elected government in Kiev, when they basically, it was a coup. They threw the elected government out, and it's just more doublespeak, 1984 type, change the language. The masses of America and the Western world are just, most masses are just ignorant. They have no clue what's going on. I heard something today that 90% of people get their news from the three cable news providers, which are basically mouthpieces for not the White House, because they hated George Bush. Basically, they're mouthpieces for the Democrat Party, the left wing, whatever. But you got the people in Russia are fighting, or people in eastern Ukraine are fighting because the people taking over Kiev are Nazis. They're far right-wing fascists. You got reports of Jews wanting to leave or leaving because these are the same commies that basically killed all the Jews in World War II. A lot of them were from the Ukraine. And hell, Stalin killed millions of people in the Ukraine by starving them out, basically taking their resources. That Ukraine's a fertile area. They were taking their resources and basically feeding the main part of Russia and letting the Ukrainians starve, so communism would look good on the surface. And you had Western-backed magazines or whatever, claiming Stalin was they called him Uncle Joe and he was great or whatever. And the guy killed millions and millions of people. And it just dumbfounds me that people don't see that this stuff could happen. And again, you got people say, oh, we're a civilized society. Meanwhile, Obama's droning the hell out of people in Yemen and Pakistan. Yeah, that's civilized. I saw a picture on Drudge of Obama sitting in a basically a throne, and it was a parody picture of Obama, and it had Game of Drones, and it had pictures of drones over top of him and missiles coming out of the back of his chair, so whatever, just ridiculousness. And you got these sycophant, retard Obama supporters, and mind you, I'm not a Republican anymore myself. I just want to be left the hell alone. I want to live my life. I don't want to bother anybody else. Basically, I'm a libertarian. And I don't know. These people are just crazy. And you need need to become aware of what's going on, because this is going to affect us at some point. You know, the stock market's really shaky right now, and most people use that as a barometer of how well the economy's doing. Meanwhile, you've got millions and millions of people that are of working age that are unemployed. Male employment is the lowest, I believe, ever, and since we've been keeping employment data records. And hell, I see them every day in a grocery store. When I was a kid, you could work, you know, I worked in a grocery store when I was 16 and 17, and they wouldn't let me work during the day because there was nobody in the store, because people were working, they had jobs. And now, you know, I get there at 6 in the morning, and by 7:30, 8 o'clock, they come piling in there, and it's busy all day long, and it's dead, you know, after about 5 or 6. Once you get the people in the stores that actually have jobs, then it just clears out. Well, 20 years ago, it didn't get busy until 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock where I'm from, because we were a mill town. You know, we had textile industry, but that's gone now too, so they've shipped all that overseas. So there are no jobs, and you better get used to it, or figure out a way to make your own damn money, because they're destroying our, what we call the dollar. You know, that's not money, that's currency. Anyway, if you like these videos, please share them. Check out libertypreserve.com for usually daily updates, or on a blog there. Anyway, check you guys later.